Thank you to BetterHelp and Native for sponsoring today's episode of the podcast. Let's do it.
Ramble.
Hey everybody, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know that Lou Burger is on tour again this weekend. We're going to be outside Pittsburgh. If you live there, you probably know, but check us out. That's on Saturday night. And then if you're in the Syracuse area, on Sunday night at 9 o'clock, we're doing a show at Wildflowers Armory. Yes, you can go to louburgercomedy.com/shows. Check out my shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TryPod. We've got a really special episode today, I think. We're, joined, of course, by podcast fixette Rainie.
I'm giddy.
Rainie's giddy here. And it seems like most of the other guys are gone, except we have one special guest who decided to stop by the studio.
Who could it be?
Uh-oh.
Ooh, who could it be? Rainie, Miles, I'm so honored to be here with you.
Yeah, wow. It's been a while, Eugene. I feel like I've missed you so.
Well, apparently I've been stalking over your shoulder.
Yes.
I've heard news that there is a version of me that's always here in the podcast studio.
Yeah, many people have said that they got a jump scare from you sort of right over my shoulder in cardboard
Listen, if
form.
part of my legacy is being an accidental horror movie villain, then I'm totally okay with that.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We wanted to
Thank
sort
you.
of catch up and give you an opportunity to have Eugene's Imaginarium.
Ooh.
A wonderful episode that, once again, you've controlled the podcast in the past. But this week we decided we wanted to give you some burning questions and also give you an opportunity to ask some burning questions to us.
Yes, I want to know so much more about you, Rainie.
Oh,
I want to know about Rainie's world.
This is the Rainie exclusive that people have been dying for.
Well, it's funny because I'm just not, I have zero time in my schedule. And when I told Miles that I have a little time this week and I wanted to come by a podcast, he was like, oh, I think all the other guys are busy. And I said, perfect.
You're like,
Me,
excellent.
you, and the one and only Rainie.
oh my gosh, this is exhilarating. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you're dreaming this.
Well, but
Actually.
you know what?
truly
We should
feel-
kick it off with Rainie.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about myself up top. I want to talk about Rainie. Rainie,
Okay.
hit me with a question or hit me with something happening in your life. I just want to know more about you.
Oh, okay.
You did karaoke.
I did karaoke.
For the first time,
For the
Rainie
first
did
time
karaoke.
ever.
Are you a karaoke lover? Or are you a
Oh my
karaoke
gosh.
appreciator or
I
scared?
am obsessed with it now.
Yes.
Just
now,
came
wait,
out.
you didn't like it before?
No. I just had never been. And I was like, oh, maybe it's cringe, but maybe it's cool. I just don't really know. And I hadn't really attended. But then I stumbled into it by accident, pretty much, because I was trying to go to another bar and the bouncer was like, you're not allowed because it's a private event. And I was like, period, do you have another bar that you would recommend? So he was like, you can go to this singing bar. And I was like, question mark. So then I went to that bar and I was like immediately entranced. It was the most delightful human experience.
Was it in Koreatown?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So you got the peak, the pinnacle of karaoke bars, which is the Koreans running the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big part of our culture.
Yeah.
And was it an open forum in which you sang in front of many people, or was it rooms?
It was open. It was many people.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I did not.
Rainie didn't sing. She
You didn't
said.
sing. Well, no, Rainie, it's good.
She-
You dipped your toes in the karaoke water.
And I was in line, but it was just like I thought it was like sort of they're flying by the seat of their pants because like there was long pauses before each person performed. But so I thought they were just sort of waiting for whoever signed up. So we signed up, but then it was just like it was getting late. And when we were like, it's a school night.
Yeah,
so.
it's a school night. And by the way, what were you going to sing?
Born This Way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, an excellent
Yeah.
choice.
We haven't done a second try karaoke night in fucking years because of the pan.
Yeah.
But it would be real nice.
It's no secret that besides one of the Try guys, all of us adore karaoke. You can guess which one does not care for karaoke.
I actually can't.
Come on, give.
Does
an
Ned not like karaoke?
Ned does not like karaoke.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so shocking. Wow.
He just finds it like weird to get into a room and sing in front of each other.
yeah.
I get it. Some people do not like the experience. They feel pressure.
I love
or they
it.
feel like everyone's just showboating. But when you're, in an entertainment company, you're surrounded by a lot of entertainment people.
Yeah.
I think you should just expect some fun and delightful, goofy performances.
It's free live music.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Exactly.
And you know what I'll say? I've had I had a really wonderful time at the second try karaoke night. This was, I guess, fucking years ago at this point. We've
It was
been
in
a
the
company.
before times,
It was in the
yes.
before times. But then I also had maybe one of the most devastating karaoke experiences of my life.
Wait, what happened?
At our Christmas party one year.
Yes. Was I there?
You were there,
Uh-huh.
but it was no one's fault except for me and Sarah, my lovely wife.
Yes.
We decided we were wasted. We were wasted because it's a party, and we decided let's sing. Let's sing Baby It's Cold Outside, which you think.
No,
Now, in your
Miles.
mind, though, you're like, yeah, Baby It's Cold Outside, easy song to sing. It's going to be a crowd pleaser. It's kind of funny. It's outdated, obviously.
Did she do the traditionally male part?
Yes, that was the bit.
Oh, I remember
But
this.
Here's the problem. What you don't remember if you're just thinking of that song is it's actually a really hard song to sing because there's so much overlapping dialogue. I really can't, baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
I got to stand it, baby. It's you gotta jump on each other, right?
And there's a harmony that's
There's a
pretty
harmony
important.
that's
Yeah.
important. And so we were in a back room at this bar singing karaoke and we started to sing and we cleared the room. And Sarah and I still bring this up to each other as an example of like, you think you're flying high and you really got to make sure that you stay in check.
Well, you can luckily tell people later that it was because of the content of the song and not the fact that y'all were terrible.
We butchered it. And I've since when I think about a karaoke song, it's not just what's a good song. Yeah. It's what's a good song that I can pull off that's not so hard to sing that like if I sing it poorly, it's going to ruin it.
Right.
And that is one that I will never ever sing again.
Well, you have to follow that up with a glorious success story.
Exactly.
Yes.
I sing The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman often at karaoke, and it's a fucking hit.
Yeah.
And it's huge.
That's
No. This is not the glorious.
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
The John.
Oh, Rain, sorry. Whisper that in the
Oh my God,
microphone.
y'all have secrets. Tell me your secrets.
Rainey just whispered the John Hamm thing. And here's the John Hamm thing. I go to karaoke a lot. This is pre-panned, but we went to a bar called Ye Rustic in LA. They have a karaoke night. I don't know if they still do. But for whatever reason, John Hamm was there. John Hamm of Mad Men. The John Hamm.
Don Draper himself.
Don Draper himself was at this karaoke evening, and it was a friend of mine's birthday. And so me and a couple of friends of mine decided, let's sing the Cha-Cha Slide. And now, as you go, put your right foot now, 2 hops this time. Those are the words. And if you're singing karaoke, that's how you got to sing it. And there's actually a lot more lyrics than you remember.
It's a long song.
It's a long song.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts of the song that are just sort of being like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The whole point of that is to have people dancing during.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
Did
that's
John
why,
Hamm dance?
No, John.
Did you make Ham dance with his pants?
Ham did not dance with his pants,
Oh.
but he did pull his phone out, and he was so tickled by it. He took a video of us, of us singing this Cha-Cha Slide.
So John Hamm somewhere on a movie set is showing, hey guys, do you want to see the stupidest thing
Exactly.
ever from a karaoke bar? No,
I
I'm
can
sure
only
he's
hope.
saying it with pride and admiration.
Yeah, my hope is that he texted it to, I don't know, fucking
Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig. To Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Did they date?
Well, they were just
No,
in
they were in
Bridesmaids
Bridesmaids together.
Oh,
But
you know what else?
probably they did.
You know what else they
I
were in
think.
together? A movie that people do not talk about. Friends with Kids. Great movie. Fucking really sad movie. Very sad movie. But John Hamm is in a very horrible relationship with Kristen Wiig in that movie.
I'm sure they're like friends.
Yeah.
I
I
think that they
don't
would get
remember
along.
this film.
That's it.
I don't have any
I
friends
didn't
or kids.
Anyway, but that being said, I don't even friends with kids. That being said, John Hamm, he took a video of me.
Wait, but Eugene also, speaking of celebrities who are filming,
Yeah.
at the Met Gala, I need to know all the little conversations you had with all the famous people.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, but that's so long ago.
It was long ago.
It is long ago. It's not timely.
Because someone did some.
You really made a meal out of that word.
It is bizarrely timely because I believe the next Met Gala is quite literally around the corner.
Oh, it is.
Thank goodness.
Because
Okay.
it's in May. Traditionally, they just did the one last year in September.
Yeah.
and it's the same theme. So
Oh,
it's a little
camp?
bit like a part 2
Weird.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh.
It's just yeah.
I feel like they just didn't have another idea, kind of.
no, I think they
How
just
embarrassing.
they realized they couldn't. I think they couldn't get the exhibit aspect together in time to do an entirely
that's
different
fair.
thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess someone must have said on the TryPod some of the anecdotes.
Yeah, you think you did?
I'm
maybe.
from
I know
Zach
you-
probably related.
I know that you saw Timothée Chalamet in a bathroom,
Yes.
which is huge.
Yes, we
did.
were at the urinals next
Timothy.
to each other. That happens apparently
Really intimate.
at places
Wow.
like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful boy himself.
Yes, he was. I mean, I was at the urinal, so I was not engaging, nor was I trying to be like, hey, what's up?
Oh, you didn't talk to me. You didn't.
No, we were just
You didn't say,
our
hey,
business.
you were really getting beautiful, boy.
I didn't like,
He's like,
urinate and go, June. June.
Yeah.
No, it was just it was a lovely evening, and there was a lot of people that I spoke with. I mean, here, I guess I'll give one for the queers out there. I had like a 10-minute conversation with Lee Pace, which was very exciting.
Oh, wow.
For many reasons. If you don't know Lee
Yeah, I
Pace,
don't know
he's a 6'5" dreamboat, an icon. He played the lead in Pushing Daisies, which a lot of people know.
Love Pushing Daisies.
But that made me a little. I was a little. I don't get flustered very easily, and I did see like Rihanna was walking towards me at one point. And I actually ducked. I actually like jumped behind a pillar because I got so nervous. I don't know. I was my story from the Met Gala. I was very flummoxed from the week leading up to it. So my cool was very inaccessible. I just resorted to saying things like just really quick out loud, blurting things to people like Normani and just being like, "Oh my God, you're amazing! I love
Normani's awesome."
But or I just dodged. Quickly. But it was a surreal night. But hopefully one day in the future I might have an opportunity to go again. But I'm waiting. I would ideally like to go more as a established filmmaker or some other label besides being cropped into what I think is a hard thing to be scrutinized for, which is like, you're the first wave of quote unquote digital creators or influencers who are there. It was a bit of a wave.
But I do think it's shifting a little bit because I think of YouTube stars as actually like insanely influential.
Yeah. I think that's what people are realizing. It's just, the online conversation is always so hard to sift through.
Yeah, discourse is bad.
Discourse is always hard. Discourse is tough. It is tough. There's very hard. But I mean, Rainie, it sounds like you specifically want me to tell you about someone in particular.
Oh.
Are you a Timothy stan?
Okay, well, I have really complicated feelings about Timothy.
Really?
Yeah. I really can't decide if I'm in love with him or if I'm like, ugh.
Well,
I go back and forth.
That's kind of I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
That is the best type of attraction to have.
What?
I mean, if you
what?
I mean, from Pride and Prejudice all the way to Bridgerton season 2.
very similar Venn diagram.
Yeah, but no, it is literally like a callback to that.
Yeah.
It's this idea of, I can't stand you. I can't even stand to be in the room with you. You agonize me.
Yeah.
You make my skin crawl.
The Mark Sloan effect. Yeah.
So much so that I want to rip your clothes off. It's the sexiest way to be attracted to someone, though I think in real life, it hardly ever turns out well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the enemies to lovers situation.
It's the most romantic trope.
Yeah.
And it's the rarest type of crush, but it just does. I've never seen relationships actually pan out in real life.
No, I feel like in my past I've dated people where it's like, we should have a sort of a contentious, mean relationship.
Yeah.
And then
it's kind of hot during flirting.
It's kind of hot during flirting, and then you realize, I don't think that you like me very much.
You can't jab, if you can't live with someone and constantly jab them.
No, it sucks. Yeah.
But if you date someone or see them at the bar occasionally, it's just like, hey, Rainie. Nice shoes.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, nice face. And then you're like, wow. But then you're living with someone. Can you imagine waking up and being like, hey, nice face. I'm just pouring my cereal over here. Yeah, we're married.
Yeah, I'm trying to relax here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the Timothy, I'm like, because obviously I had a crush on somebody in high school which was very much like that. And then we made out on New Year's Eve of 2020, Bad Omen.
Whoa.
Bad Omen. Yes, because it was but was it at the countdown or was it outside of the countdown?
It was the countdown.
Okay, so that's
at the countdown.
That's hard because that's how do you define that? Everyone is looking for someone to kiss.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was it right? Was it wrong? Was it forced?
Yeah. We had been like Snapchatting for like a year.
Ooh, this is why I should be here for these Rainie pods.
Gen Z correspondent Rainie never disappoints.
Tell me more about this Snapchat.
So this is Rainie's exes. Where are they now?
So Snapchat flirting is you You met on Snapchat and talked prior to even meeting in real life.
No. So I went to high school with him, was very much in love with him, but I sort of did the thing like he thought I hated him because I was always like, shut the fuck up, kind of. Like,
You were his bully.
Yeah.
but he was also mean to me. So
So it was that.
That's a very high school thing, I feel like.
Yes.
yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. People don't always realize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress. And let's not forget about doom scrolling, sleeping too much, sleeping too little. Stress shows up in all kinds of ways.
And in a world that's telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, here's your reminder to take care of yourself, do less, and maybe try some therapy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy.
I've been using BetterHelp for a bunch of months now, and I love it. It's something I look forward to every week. Even actually, the weeks where I'm not looking forward to it, those tend to be the ones where I have the most to say. And it's great to just have someone to talk to.
TryPod is sponsored by BetterHelp, and you guys can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/TryPod. That's BETTERHELP.com/TryPod.
You've heard us talk about how much we love Native. The thoughtful formulation behind all their products is something that we've always loved because they understand it's not just what's on the inside that counts.
That's why Native is releasing their deodorant in new and improved plastic-free packaging. Pretty dope. Native is doing their part to help our Earth with the new 100% plastic-free and recyclable packaging.
Well, how about that? When you buy Native's new plastic-free recyclable package deodorant, you are saving 37 grams of plastic.
How about that? Native is also a proud partner of 1% for the Planet and are committing 1% of their plastic-free deodorant sales to environmental nonprofits.
Ready to try plastic-free deodorant? Go to nativedeo.com/tryguys or use promo code TRYGUYS at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/TryGuys or use promo code TRYGUYS at checkout for 20% off your first order.
We did it.
Sadly, because I didn't date at all before I met my current partner,
Yeah.
I was undateable. I was like the Elizabeth. I was like the lead who was
That's
just like,
really cool. Yeah.
you can't tame
Honestly.
you can't tame him. All my friends were like, he's social, but he's also like,
Yeah.
you get him in a corner, he's going to intellectually go off on whatever's happening in the world or politics. And this was pre 2010. I was a little bit of, as they said back in the day, a shrew. Yeah.
Wait,
and
okay, you keep going, but then I have a question.
no, please. What were you going to ask?
Wait. So how did Matt win you over then?
I think it was less winning, more that when I honestly first went on a date with him, I was just like, I'd seen him for a year prior at the gym, so I knew exactly what
And you were
he
crushing.
looked like. I was thirsting. We were thirsting from across, because I had never spoke to him, so I can't really crush.
You saw him around.
Yeah, we were just like, we could, physically it made sense. But then when I first went on a date with him, he was just so stable. And I was very attracted to people like myself who are the opposite of stable. So I figured in my mind somewhere, the way my mama raised me said, Eugene, just go on a second date. So that was good. Good for me retaining some positive lessons about relationships with my parents, because I was, as they say, a disaster gay. I still am in a lot of ways.
Right.
But like, for example, when he first came over to my apartment, you can't see the floor because I just threw everything on the ground.
Oh, wow.
I never bought a bed frame because I thought it was just more like, I felt like me, the penniless writer, didn't even have pillows. I just slept on a mattress.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not.
no,
It was
Eugene.
not an attractive situation. Like, I was probably attracted
You didn't
out
have
and
pillows?
about. No, I was
How
just
did you
like,
sleep? Did you sleep on sweatshirt?
I just thought I deserved it. I deserve.
Oh.
Yeah.
It would
a
make
punishing artist.
it was. I still do the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm never in the office, because I'm punishing myself. I'm sitting and writing all day. But he luckily accepted me, so that was good. But I think before that, I was certainly those signs of like he's kind of he's a disaster. He's a tornado. People grasp it pretty quickly when they start interacting with me. So I was very much like that. It's Elizabeth, right? That's the lead in Pride and Prejudice.
Lizzie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Lizzie.
Yes, Lizzie. I was very Lizzie. There was a split in the timeline, a multiverse, where I certainly only dated like guys who were in bands.
Yeah.
people who paint.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it was very much that was my type.
Yeah.
But Matt is not that. So I think that's why I was smart. I thought with my head.
Yeah.
How old were you when you met him?
25.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And who asked who out?
I think I asked him out.
You asked him out?
Yeah, because
at
I
the
think
gym?
I'd seen him enough.
You've
I was
been like, I
it's
get
ready
your
to go.
deal. Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Drinks, coffee,
Dinner,
movie,
Oh.
dinner,
Very
and
classic.
movie.
Which
Really?
movie?
Argo. Hilariously.
Ben Affleck, so romantic.
I was like, well, we were like, it's one of those, you do dinner, it's going well.
Yeah.
Should we go somewhere else?
Nice.
Can't go to someone's place because that ends up with other things. So we're
Right.
being classy.
That's good.
So I said, let's go check out the theater. This is Oscar nominated. Okay.
That's cool.
And then we liked each other enough where the second day we were scheduled like maybe to have a date a week later, which is normal.
Yeah.
And then I immediately was like, well, I'll come hang out. So then I went over and showed him, I think, Toy Story 3, which was part of the reason I was going to not see him again because he didn't ever see like Pixar movies.
Yeah, you showed him your Woody.
It was I showed him my Woody and he gave me a buzz.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. You nasty boy, Miles. You nasty
A little bit
boy.
of Mr. Potato Head.
Howdy. Yeah, so that was it. It was good. We kind of fell pretty quickly into something that felt like more domestic, which
Yeah.
is surprising for me. All my friends were really shocked
Yeah.
because I went from being undateable to being in the most serious relationship out of all of my gay friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very weird like flip. But I'm a very decisive person, and I kind of just I know what I want, I do it.
Okay.
And Matt luckily is also the same, so it worked out.
Yeah, he rocks.
Do you guys still get butterflies?
Oh.
With our partners or with other people?
Yeah, with strangers. No, with my partner, do I get butterflies? Butterflies to me are associated with like a nervousness. Which
I get moths.
Yeah, I get
So it's like
bugs.
So it's kind of like I remember this feeling of being attracted to you, but it's
Yes.
also old, and it maybe is eating clothes in a closet. So it's like it's time worn.
You know what I get? Fireflies, not butterflies. Because I feel it's butterflies to me is like a little bit of like, oh, I like this person, but I'm not sure, and I'm nervous. But I don't ever get that because she's my wife. But I do kind of I will get like just like a sense.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's better than saying moths.
I have fleas.
You gave me fleas. Fleas in the belly.
Yeah.
Wait, so Rainie, I know this is it's supposed to be our burning question. We just went into a boy talk.
I know I have some
Yeah.
burning questions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some questions, and it's okay if they're still about boys.
They absolutely can be. So now a couple of these questions here. These are just things I was wondering, and I think that they, they tell a lot. So they're questions that tell a lot, and I think that they'll be able to, maybe cast a little bit of insight.
Okay.
The first one is, what was the drunkest you've ever been?
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
That's
Rainie,
a great question.
go first.
Okay, well,
It's today.
If you respond with "Oh Lord," then a memory must have seared.
it was,
To the
it's
forefront.
because at this karaoke bar, I saw pink vodka on the thing.
Wait, it's the karaoke part. It was your
Yes. No. I saw pink vodka and I was with my friend from college and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't drink. This isn't the same. But like pink lemonade Rubinoff. Shout out Rubinoff. If you know, you know. And I was drinking it like it was a mixed drink and it's 40% alcohol.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pink
And
Rubinoff.
that was the only time I've ever and I thought I remembered most of it, but then I saw a picture and I was like, well, I don't remember that. So I don't know what else happened.
Whoa.
But that was the drunkest I got. And then the next morning I had to go to the Women's March because it was like after Trump got elected.
Yeah.
And I was like so hungover, like violently. And I called my mom. I was like, I'm so sick. And she was like, no, you just poisoned your body. Like you're fine. And so I went to the Women's March and it was a tough day.
Yeah, it's really tough.
It's tough for a lot of things. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
really drunk the night before when Trump got elected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a tough
Interestingly, that story, it was when I was asked, it was when I was at BuzzFeed and they saw me as like a potential like good on-screen correspondent. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
anchored the election results in New
Oh.
York.
Oh God, that's right.
So, because I'm like also a performer. So
Yeah.
they had really wonderful people there who were journalists and people tracking all of the tallies as they come in, and writers who I adore who were my former colleagues. But they knew they needed someone who could keep a straight face, a smiling face,
Oh my
as we watched the Titanic sink.
That's devastating.
And that's exactly what happened. The mood shifted so quickly. As I'm sure all of your parties did.
yeah. That's tough.
And I was like the one bastion of just being like acting like it was no big deal. Let's go to Ohio. Yeah. So it was a rough night, and then I got I had a whole half whiskey bottle to myself.
Yeah,
it was
that's
tough.
the drunkest you've ever been. No,
of course
Can't be.
not.
I feel like
no. I think the drunkest I've ever been. Which interestingly, I would like to preface this with, although there are a lot of persona aspects of us that make sense for comedy.
Yeah.
I don't condone excessive drinking.
No.
I think in fact, half of the experiences I had being really drunk are just signs and stories that you should tell your kids, this is why you shouldn't drink very much.
Yeah.
In fact, explore alternatives to make yourself feel better. But the drunkest I've ever been, my problem is that when I get drunk, which is part of, I think, the mythos around people who can maybe drink a lot. I don't think it qualitatively makes your experience any better that you don't have hangovers or you take a lot more drinks. You still, if I take 10 drinks versus someone's 3 drinks, I still get to the same drunkenness level. I'm just saying the whole time, I'm just like, I need more to get to this. And then I'm just as messy as everyone else. My issue is that when I get drunk, I'm a totally functional human. So my issue is I will be at bars or in public, have full on conversations. We could talk about Chekhov and I'd be like totally present.
Yeah.
And then every night I go out, and if I decide to be drunk, I'll have like 30 phone numbers in my phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm just that social. I'm like a very social person. Which is funny because I'm not a social person at heart. I'm a social person when I'm like, I think I need those types of things to be social. And that's, I think, the crux, which is bad. You don't need it to be social. It's just an enabler, and often it's a bad enabler. That's me sort of dissecting the pitfalls of drinking.
Yeah. Which there are a lot of.
There are a lot of.
I don't drink as much as I used to. Nor do I really want to. But
no, the pandemic especially sort of shone a light on maybe like it's fun to just have a couple drinks at home. That's always good.
Yeah. My whole thing this year was try to drink intentionally instead of
that's
passively.
good.
It's going well. And it just means that like if I'm going to have a drink, I want to think about why and what I'm doing, and be like, if it's me at home, I want to enjoy a cocktail. I'm going to have a cocktail. I want to relax in this moment. I'm at home. It's nice. And I'm trying to do that more than the idea of just like, it's been a hard day. I'm going to have a drink to like X, Y, or Z. And I feel like that can be dangerous sometimes.
I think people have a very strong emotional connection to drinking.
Yeah.
And especially if your family has a history of drinking, like mine, it's like ingrained. And I think separating that psychologically is so important as you get older, because especially, again, the pandemic was, it felt like a knee-jerk reaction that you're stuck inside, and then 2 p.m. rolls around and you're like, well, the sun is past the top of the sky and I feel bad. But feeling bad and then associating it with any sort of substance is bad.
Yeah.
So I'll say like a good celebratory drunk. I remember getting really drunk. Oh God, no! I know the story, but I can't say it in public because I committed a felony. I committed some sort of crime.
What's the statute of limitations on?
I don't know if it's a felony. It's a misdemeanor for sure. But no one got hurt. It was like it's a funny crime.
Did you pee in the street?
No, and I've done that many times.
Okay.
I think that's
barely a crime.
Yeah, and never in the street. Why would you do in the street? You have to go to a bush against a wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. In the middle of the street. That's probably it.
Gosh, I can't. I don't think I can say this story. Let's just say it's the funniest version of stealing something.
The funniest version of stealing something. Wow.
Yes.
Theft. Grand Theft Auto.
It has a little bit of Robin Hood, and it has a little bit of
Stole from the rich, gave to the poor.
It has a lot of gay.
You stole from.
All I'll say is that they were gowns,
That's really funny.
and I won't say anything else. But I was very drunk, and it was an Easter. I was drunk on an Easter.
Oh, an Easter drunk.
Yeah, I felt like the Easter bunny. I was like, I'm gonna go collect some things and
Oh, that's mythical. Yeah.
yeah,
really good.
Yeah, I'm a pretty fanciful partier.
So I think the drunkest I've ever been, because it takes a lot to get me drunk. And also it's, probably a couple of the times, or like, I think that one time we went to West Hollywood, I went with you, which I've only done a number of times. I was wasted, but because it was because Alex and YB give shots, and it's very,
Yeah. They're very
shots
into partying,
environment.
yeah.
But I think that the most drunk I've ever been, the only time I've ever like blacked out, I was 13 or 14.
Oh, shoot.
Whoa.
Which was not a good. This is my first time drinking ever.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, that makes sense.
If you're 13 or 14,
You don't know what your
drink.
limits are.
You don't know what your limits
Yeah.
are. And I was also like, I had no idea. I was with my brother and my cousins, and they brought me to this party because I was hanging out with them, and they were like,
Is your brother older?
older.
okay.
And so they were like, come to this party, and I was like the kid at the party, and everyone thought that was funny because they were all high schoolers, and I was like some like 8th grader. I was maybe 14, so I was like an 8th grader or whatever, freshman year of high school, and they were just like giving me shots. I don't even think they drank that much, but because I just had never drank before, I like threw up in a bush, and I remember like coming to and being like, "What's going on?" And it was like late, and everyone was gone, including my cousin and my brother, and they went to go, I don't know, buy cigarettes or something at the 7-Eleven. And then I was just like, and the guy who owned the house was just like, "Yeah, you gotta go, man." And I was like, ugh. And I started like walking. I was in Long Island, started walking around, and then like a car pulled up. It was my brother and my cousins. They were like, "Get in, we gotta go home." And I have never been more hungover. It was tough. Yeah.
I feel like that's probably a familiar story for a lot of people.
Right,
You know, if
yeah.
they were ever in that situation as like a kid. It is weird that peer pressure
Yeah.
is so, as a child, is so deeply associated with something like drinking.
Yeah.
Because in fact, I put this is on the record. I think people who are sober or choose to be sober are like the strongest people in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not just that. It's like, imagine how much of our society is centered around drinking and how much of our social personas are then linked to it. And, you know, I'm very guilty of this. I certainly, as we started doing drinking exploration videos, I had to, and, you know, a lot of this is slightly true to life, but also in comparison to the other guys.
Yeah.
I'm the one who can, quote unquote, handle his liquor. I'm the one who,
Sure.
And, you know, I'm Korean and Texan. So the toxic drinking culture in both of those is really rampant. So I think that it's funny as a child, you're told that the more you can drink, oh, you get another shot, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a mess.
Drinking like destroys people. And when you're as an adult, it is tough because when you go out, like it is so hard not to drink at places.
It is. And I'll also say, you're 24?
25?
25, huge
Whoop, whoop.
shout out.
Yeah.
But I would say you're at the age where your friends are going to start to stop drinking. And I have so many friends that are in AA or they don't drink anymore or whatever. And it just happens, I think, between like 24, 25 to like beginning of your 30s where people realize that like it's not just fun partying anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that college is something that hides alcoholism really well.
Yeah.
And that like it's just considered fun. But
Yeah.
I think also even something as like bringing a bottle of wine as a gift, bringing liquor as a
Right.
gift. Our whole culture is built on the idea that people should be drinking and should be drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like tough.
And I think it's okay to associate it with something like a very particular cultural aspect. Like this pairs well with this food and we're going to enjoy this over dinner.
Sure.
We're just not raised with that, or at least we weren't raised with that in America. It's a very, we've discussed, I don't know if y'all have discussed this, but you know, like the ideas in which we condemn things outright to children and then prohibit them from learning about things. Queer people and culture.
Yeah.
Fuck DeSantis. So like this entirety of like, you do not create education or more well-rounded mindsets by restricting others with prohibitive guardrails. You in fact push them towards having experience like you did with the shots.
Yeah, crazy.
Because you have your only references being like drinking bad. Now they say drinking cool.
Right.
So it's tough. Like for me, you know, Korea, I don't know if people know this, but South Korea has, I believe, the highest consumption rate per capita of liquor in the world. Like they're twice the amount of second place, which is Russia.
Wow.
And it's because the soju drinking culture is so huge in Korea. And they, you know, again, it's like work your ass off, then drink your butt off. And I remember when I first went to Korea to meet some of my relatives, one thing, my dad, who is sober, because he used to have problems with alcohol. He actually advised me, he said, well, you don't speak Korean fluently, so they're going to already kind of judge you for that. But if you do anything, eat and drink everything in sight. And it was, and after having my first dinner with relatives I'd never met, and I drank and ate everything on the table, and then some, more than everyone.
Yeah.
I remember my uncle patted me on the back and said, "This is my nephew."
Right.
It's very toxic, but
That's
it's
really
also
funny.
like, it is
Interesting.
hard to, you know, it is hard to completely demean people's associations with things because you forget how closely tied to people's cultures something as simple as like a shot of alcohol can be. And I think it's really, I don't know, I think we just need more exposure and more education on everything to begin with. But that being said, you know, don't steal dresses when you're drunk.
Yeah, don't steal dresses when you're drunk. But I think that's the only time I've ever thrown
They weren't
out.
even for me. They were for my one of my best girlfriends.
There you go. You stole a
Yeah.
dress for her.
Two.
Ooh. My goodness.
Yeah.
Set Eugene loose on
And I
West Hollywood.
knew her size perfectly. I called her after and I was like almost crying because I was really drunk, but I was crying because I was so worried that I got the wrong size.
Oh yeah.
Women's sizes are hard too.
They are hard, but
tough.
I eyed it and I knew, and then she got home because she thought something terrible had happened, and then she looked at the dresses and went, "Oh, we don't have to go to the police."
To the police.
Who'll ever know?
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Next burning question here. Best day of your life. And it can be like a day that's top 5 or top 10. Doesn't have to be the exact best day. But I just think it's interesting to isolate one day and be like, that was a really fucking good day.
that's a hard question.
I know it's hard.
because I don't even think of days as an entire day. I think more events or
It could be an
moments.
event. Yeah, right. That's fine.
Okay, I've got a day that comes to mind in high school, sophomore year, Saturday. The day.
Oh, I love this
of-
recall. Yes.
This is great. Yeah.
It was like a dance, a school dance was at night. But you know that energy, this is what I miss about high school, having all your crushes in one room with sexual energy infused into it. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have that again.
That's huge.
Like that's insane. So it was super, like it wasn't like I like anything happened with anybody at the dance, but I was just like, everything is going to happen with everybody. But I went to Charlotte Russe, shout out, to get a dress.
Cute.
It was my first day driving with my license and my permit, got the dress. And then, so I went to the dance. That wasn't really interesting. But after the dance, we played Capture the Flag.
Okay, the people are just asking for hormones to go rampant then.
I know. Yeah.
Capture the flag after the dance?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was great. There's like a
God.
park nearby, and me and my friend, one of my best friends, we were like lying on the grass in jail, and we were just like, that was sort of our like friend. Well, we had been friends for a little bit, but it was like a super sweet conversation. And then afterwards, I went with my sister's older friend, and we had like this really cute conversation, and I almost said something stupid, but my mom pulled up right before, and I was like, this day rocks.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
What was the thing you were going to say?
Well, she was dating this guy, and I had heard some things about him,
Oh, yeah.
but I didn't tell her.
Don't want to meddle.
That was your best. That's
a really
cute.
good day.
I love that your best day is currently from high school.
Well, yeah. And I think the only reason that there's probably been like cooler days or whatever, but I remember at the end of the day being like, every single second of that day was amazing, you know?
That's
Miles,
awesome.
what's your favorite,
Ooh, my
your
day.
favorite day?
Man. So, I mean, obviously, my wedding day was really fucking
Oh, yeah.
good. But I feel like I'm actually going to choose a different day. Cause obviously like that was a fantastic series of days.
Was it stressful though?
Yeah, but it was also stressful, and you're trying to like make sure everything happens, you know, and this and that and the other. So it was really wonderful. But a day actually that comes out to me is in college. It was a friend's birthday party. I don't know why this day rings so special to me, but I was like a big performer in college, so I did all sorts of shows. So the night before, I had done a huge improv show, and it went really well. It's like a 400 person show. We did this whole thing. It's a college. The audiences are so supportive because people have never seen comedy really before, and so huge big show. I wake up. It's the next day. It's a Saturday, and a friend of mine's birthday is happening. It's a day party. And it was in their front yard. Everyone went over. Really great group, like unexpectedly great group.
I love when that happens.
And I was like, oh my God, I feel like all these people that I like, know sort of in periphery. And I'm with my two friends, Paige and Lauren, huge shout out. And they were like my friends that we worked at the coffee shop together. So I went, and then the party was like maybe 16 people or something like that. And we played dodgeball in their front yard for hours and hours. We played dodgeball and we're drinking beer, and it started at like 1 p.m. and we partied until then. That like once it got dark, we all went inside. The party continued and more people came, and then the party was over by like 10 p.m.
Wow.
And I went home and I was like kind of buzzing still, but had this amazing full day, and that feeling of just like getting into bed and being like, it's a Saturday night, I'm gonna watch TV and I'm gonna enjoy myself. And I just remember it as like a very good day, and I think it was like one of the best parties I've ever been to. That physical. I mean, you're talking about the capture flag thing.
Yeah.
I think doing something really physical
Yeah.
in addition to like, you know, being around your friends is great.
I love when like there's a group of people and it's okay, the best experience in the world is when you're walking through college campus and you see people that you happen to know and you're like, hi.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, I am the queen of the school.
Global
obviously.
community.
Right. But also like having a group of people who are like, oh, this is so random. Like, I can't believe everybody here is getting along, but they are.
Yeah.
It's magic.
I don't think I can recall a best day ever.
Really?
This is so sad, but I think most of my memories are like tinged with a sense of like a caveat.
Oh yeah.
I think that's just my type
Caveat.
of approach to
Right.
experience is like, even when I think of something really happy, there's something very sad or I'm very unsatisfied.
Yeah.
I'm very Hamilton.
Right.
Yeah.
You're very
I'll never be
Hamilton.
satisfied. Everything just feels like, even when there's an achievement, I always think of it as like, it's not an action. There's something else there that's really messing with it that gives me like fireflies in my belly,
Yeah.
as you say, Miles.
That day when I'm trying to recall, because I've spent, you know, a good amount of your life with you. I'm trying to recall one of your best days when we were in Australia at the zoo, at the kangaroo sanctuary.
Oh, I do like being around animals.
That was a pretty special day.
but I don't remember it being the best day ever.
No, it was just cool.
What about when you're like a
I had a really
kid?
big zit, and that really. I just remembered all these gorgeous shots of me with these animals in this video. I had this huge, and it wasn't even a regular zit. It was one, you know, when you have like a whitehead is fine.
Yeah.
You could just pop it. There's just some concealer on it.
Oh,
When you
is it
have
the,
like a
like-
mound.
Oh,
You know, when it's like
and it
Rudolph,
hurts
really
the
bad.
red-faced reindeer.
Yeah. I do
remember
Yeah,
that.
it was like I was bitten by multiple fire ants. It was that type of thing.
That's tough.
But you know, I think, you know, I'll bring it back to something dumb, which is the crime that I'm admitting that I committed.
Yeah.
Here's just a beautiful moment. And now I'm admitting it was 2 dresses and a jacket. So the jacket.
Eugene.
I'm sorry.
2 dresses and a jacket.
I was very drunk, and I loved my friend. I look out for my girlfriends.
Yeah.
Over 10 years later, I go to her wedding, and at her reception, she wore the jacket that I had
Oh.
gotten for
No
her.
way.
That's not even stealing then.
No, she said it's my my most favorite thing someone
Oh.
randomly stole from me in my life.
Yeah.
And I actually
Huge.
felt feelings. I felt feelings.
That's
Good
really
feelings.
good.
Yeah. So that was a nice way to bring it all back together.
Yeah.
Stealing is bad, guys. Stealing is bad. Don't do that.
Stealing is bad, but also it was way more valuable now than it was in the store because now she loves it.
Oh yeah, it would have
And
been just some
there's a
really
story.
some rich lady would have probably
Yeah.
bought it and just like
And, like,
added to her
forgotten about
collection.
it.
But she wears it
Yeah.
a lot. I see her in a lot
The
of pictures.
stolen jacket.
The stolen
Yeah.
Sisters of the Stolen.
Sisters of the
Jacket.
stolen jacket. Only one jacket. All right, here. Well, let's do one more burning
Yeah, give us a
question.
burning question.
And this is a really important.
Oh wait, you know the best day ever I had. I can't talk about because it's one of the projects I'm working on.
Oh, really?
I can't say it. I can't talk about it.
But you
publicly.
worked. It was the day you worked on the project.
It's something really big, and I think people will find out hopefully this year.
Yeah.
I just need to reiterate to the listeners. I hate that the TryPod listeners are the only ones getting an insight into where I am,
The
because I'm
juice,
sure
yeah.
main channel viewers are always like, Eugene's abandoned everyone. Where is he? Y'all, if you don't see me on the channel, I am literally sitting on my ass writing or working into the middle of the night
Yeah.
on multiple projects that just demand that time.
That's
and
right.
all the other guys know, we've all agreed on everything. Nothing is done without them knowing, you know.
That's right.
I have a different pay system now with how much I can commit time to the office.
Mm.
Everything is very fair and square.
And you came in to see a zebra one day.
And I came in to
Yeah.
see a zebra. You know, I'm trying to shoot as much as possible. If you see me in a video, it's not, look, Eugene's like, just happens to be here. It's like Eugene is desperately trying to still come in, because I much rather enjoy hanging out with y'all than going through the crises as a creative of having 5 major projects happening simultaneously.
That's right.
But one of them had a moment that was just like, it was beautiful. And I wish I could talk about it. And I think people just need to know, it's like, especially young creatives listening,
Yeah.
especially if you're interested in writing, like, you know, I think digital is great because we can just, people see us, we show up, we can be constant. But some things you work on for a large part of your life, and it's okay to do that. But a lot of that is also just like very unglorious, unglamorous, and you have to wait for things to officially be announced before you can talk
I'm
about
willing to
them.
wait for it.
Exactly. So
2 Hamilton
I will
references.
promise.
We're lucky.
I will promise here, after one of my best day stuff gets announced, I'll come back on the TryPod, but only with Miles and Rainie.
Of course. The exclusive
Reunion.
corner.
Only with you two.
That's right. Boots
Okay.
on the ground. By the way, we haven't done boots on the ground.
Oh my gosh. How have we not done boots on the
What's
ground?
boots on the ground?
It's the best segment on the TryPod.
Oh, yeah. And
Everybody's
actually,
clamoring for
I've
it.
never heard
Yeah.
of this.
Even better than Spooky or Cookie.
No, bring it back. I want to be
Well-
part of this.
Well,
is
let's see.
this a Rainie segment?
No, it's boots on the ground.
It's a team effort. It's a team
It
effort.
takes months of work.
Okay, end with boots on the ground. Let's do this one
We
last
can't.
burning
It requires
question.
research, Eugene.
No,
but-
it's okay. You
Oh
just,
no! I have it because I thought.
Oh, you do?
I thought we were doing that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, boots on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, huge. All right, great.
We'll do a quick answer to this one.
Yeah.
All right, so this is just 10 years down the road. Do you want to be in Los Angeles?
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm going to say yeah.
you do.
I think I'll be in Los Angeles forever. I can't, or New York, but I don't foresee going anywhere besides LA or New York, except for like a temporary project.
But I do remember you were fantasizing about like moving to North Carolina and being a drama teacher.
I know it's never going to happen. What the fuck am I going to do there? Like, I think that I
Yeah.
do want that, but I've worked so hard to have such a like
Yeah.
integral group of friends and a community here that I believe in. And I think it's like hard to, like, I feel like I have roots.
And
not
Sarah,
even-
Sarah, your wife, works in LA as well.
Yeah,
like,
she works
has
in
roots
LA,
here,
and
yeah.
I mean, she's also an actress and a
Yeah.
writer and stuff. And so it's like all the stuff we want to do and the people we want to work with are going to be here, and the likelihood of it succeeding is probably going to be here. So if we go somewhere else, we would just be doing that for like cost of living.
Yeah, which is huge.
I mean, it's
'Cause-
huge. It's just
yeah.
like, do I live in Illinois in the suburbs, and then I don't have a community, but I like don't pay?
No,
you
you're
know?
definitely gonna make it though. Also, you're gonna be rich here.
That's
think.
kind. That's
I really
kind.
think. I really
And
believe
you know,
that. Yeah.
Cool.
you know, especially with our travels, I don't know what the other guy said, but you know, I'm from the South,
Yeah.
which is actually quite a huge part of the U.S. And everything that's not the coast, it's true. It's like the Midwest, the mountains,
Right.
the South, Florida. It's all very different, but it's also all. It feels like it's up and coming.
Right.
You know, the diversity was already existent.
Yeah.
It's just now like people are being more exposed to, especially the youth, how a lot of parts of the world should work. Not that the coastal cities have it nailed down; they don't.
Yeah.
But it is really important to, I think, also enrich and focus on communities that, you know, a lot of people stereotypically have left for the coasts. But it is nice because there's a lot of cities that people are actually flooding back into.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I think for me, I always have to be in LA because of film. I'm probably always just going to be wherever I'm at. I'm probably gonna be sitting in a room writing, and it's just going to be like
Right. You can do
it's
that
gonna be
anywhere.
forever for me, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think you know, I have considered in my mind. I'm actually more of a New York boy at heart in my soul. But my partner, who's from New York, really loves LA. He wants.
Is he from
sun.
the city or is he from?
He's from upstate New York.
Oh, okay.
He
part?
just doesn't want weather. He's from somewhere called Cazenovia.
Okay, cool.
Has Matt not talked about this? Yeah, you
No.
can ask him about it on. You
Can
can
Sit
sit
With
with
Us.
us. Yeah, but he doesn't. He's a sun baby. He likes sun all
yeah.
the time. I like layers and having different clothes for different seasons.
Uh-huh.
But I've always thought about having a permanent residence in Texas near my hometown, just because I think politically the South, especially in the Midwest, are going to go through a lot of trying times over the next
Yeah.
several decades as we see it happening. And there's a lot of battlegrounds that are totally based on these inane sort of archaic ideals that those in power are continuing to enforce. And I think it's good for, you know, every time I go back to a Southern, even any Southern city, like me and Keith, especially, like I really just get into talking with people from those communities, especially queer people.
Yeah.
By POC, like we're always just kind of like seeing eye to eye about like, okay, we have been here, we are here, and we are part of the change that is inevitably going to happen. It's just the system that is in place is just so powerful. It's just so hard to fight it. So I am working actively with like Texas Dems to try to get Abbott out of office, and it is
nice.
with the time I don't have, but it is very like important for me. At the very least, I'm like constantly trying to canvass my father's
Yeah.
friends because my dad still's a Texan, so
Oh,
get them to
yeah.
vote certain ways. But yeah, that's the only thing I would maybe consider is
Yeah.
having some boots on the ground in Texas.
And speaking of boots on the ground,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Wait, Rainie, would you live in LA forever? Wait, aren't you from?
I'm from Denver,
Oh,
which is-
my little
it's
sister
really-
lives in Denver.
She does?
Did you know that? Yeah.
What is she? Where? Oh my gosh. We'll chat offline. 'Cause we're running out of time, but, like-
She's
Yeah,
lived there
right,
for like 5 years now. She loves it, and she's
Yeah.
she's become very Denver. But I think it was always in her soul.
No, I see. This is the thing. Denver's insanely underrated. It's the best
Yeah.
city in America.
It's cool.
really?
yeah.
The
Wow.
drag scene there is dope.
100%.
Really cool
didn't know
drag
that.
queens come out of there.
Oh, well, actually, that really makes sense.
Yeah. It feels almost
Yeah.
like it has like a Pacific Northwest vibe, but really high elevation, and everyone hikes.
Everyone hikes.
It
and
is beautiful. Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
my
it's
little sister,
sunny.
oh my gosh, she's this Denver, and you might roll your eyes, but
Yeah.
she'll visit me, and I'll say with my other sister, let's go on a hike. And then she stands there and goes, define hike.
Oh, me too.
And I'm like, how do you become nature pretentious?
wow.
Coloradans, nature pretentious.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very specific, they're like, you don't north face, bro?
Yeah. I know. Well, in LA, I came here and I was like, this is not a hike. This is paved. But
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
For
yeah.
us, it's a hike.
Yeah.
And they're like, how long is the hike? We go, oh, just for like 20 minutes. You're like, that's not
That's not a
Honey,
hike.
it's
A
an
hike is 100
8-hour
hours.
ordeal. Yeah. I love your sister. I feel like I am obsessed.
She'll vibe with you. We're gonna have
Yeah.
all the Rockies folk listening,
Yes.
sounding off
Be
in the
like,
comments
hey.
about. But she works for Google.
Oh,
She's
interesting.
amazing, powerful woman who is just like killing the game
Yes.
and going on these for her honeymoon. This is how Denver she is in my head. Her two options with her husband were these: go to Antarctica
Oh, Lord. Okay.
or hike Everest.
Oh.
That is wild.
And they chose Everest because,
Oh my goodness.
which they can't do now because it was all COVID stuff.
Yeah.
Because Antarctica, the only way you can go as a civilian generally is the really expensive fancy cruise, which perked me up. I was like, "Ooh, a cruise to Antarctica? That sounds kind of
that sounds kind of great.
And they were like, "No, we want to sleep on the ground. We want to feel the force of Mother
The
Nature,
cold.
the cold."
Yeah.
So I'll hook y'all up.
Yeah. Is her husband from Denver too?
No, he's like an Oklahoma, a New
Okay.
Mexico boy, but he has
There's a lot of
strong
overlap.
Denver,
Yeah.
strong Denver vibes too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my family, my dad's side of the family especially is very like, let's go to, like for my grandma's 80th birthday, she hiked a 14er, which is like a huge mountain. And I
Yeah.
was like, I got to sit this one out. Like, I
Miles, do you
cannot
hike?
this.
my back has been really fucked up.
Miles, what's wrong with your back?
I have a herniated disc. It's a whole thing.
You have a herniated disc?
I know.
Have you talked about this?
Only a little bit. It's been bad.
Was it
steroid
strained or
shots.
pulled from picking something up, or was it just
I don't
an
know.
age thing?
I don't. I think it was strained from something, but I truly don't know what
You're young and
I'm young and I'm pretty
agile.
healthy, and
Yeah.
I generally.
Which disc is it?
It's L4S1, L5S1.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, you're getting that checked out, right?
Yeah, I got steroid shots for
Very
it. We should get to.
No, I'm talking about your herniated disc.
We gotta get to boots.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to do
Boots on the ground.
Rapid
Rapid boots.
Also, what is this, by the way? I have no idea what this is.
It's the best segment.
Okay.
It's the best segment.
And how many times have you done it?
Only superseded by Spookier Cookie.
Was this on the tripod?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Prince Harry is not a royal, in my opinion, because have you seen it's Princess Diana and like the stable boy. And the stable boy looks exactly like Prince Harry.
Oh, the red-haired guy.
Exactly.
Yes.
So boots
Yeah.
on the ground. You think Prince Harry's a fraud?
No, I think that he's the best royal. I actually think that I just think he is, the Jon Snow.
Oh, he's the Snow, the Stark.
Yeah.
That's
Leah
a
Michelle
famous
can't read.
conspiracy.
Leah Michelle can't read.
Yeah.
I have seen this,
Oh,
and I
seen
believe
that.
it.
I've seen that TikTok conspiracy.
Boots on the ground. I think Leah Michelle is illiterate.
Wait, so boots on the ground like a conspiracy roundup?
It's sort of yeah.
Okay.
Boots on the ground is Rainie's giving breaking news from 2 months ago.
that I saw
Leah
on
Michelle
TikTok.
can't read is a very, very funny conspiracy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really in depth. Phoebe Bridgers, Robert Pattinson, Andrew Garfield had a three-way,
Why?
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Did you just think that would be cool, or is there evidence?
There's evidence.
Oh, was it?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I didn't
I could
do
see it,
the-
but I kind of feel like that three-way would be the one where like
Robert Pattinson and Andrew
boys don't
Garfield are
touch.
hooking up.
No.
Oh, I was sort of like Phoebe Bridgers, just like I'm gonna
There's-
just like get a drink.
on a future podcast, I'll talk about the politics of three-ways.
Yeah,
Because
a
there's a lot. There's a lot. Like
sounds
a
like
lot that
sounds
goes
like
into it.
actually
way
really
too much
did.
work. Sounds like
Yeah.
way too much work.
Yeah, but there's a pretty common three-way where it's like
Yeah.
male, female, and the boys like don't interact, which I think is very unfair.
That's
if you're gonna do it,
strange.
it needs like
Whoa.
y tu mama tambien. You need to have
I
the two
feel-
boys like they got to touch.
I feel like-
that's what my rule would.
I
be.
feel like there's not enough
Yeah.
room for them not to touch. Like everyone's got to touch, right?
it's very, like-
there's not that much room if you're
very-
all fooling around in the dark.
It's basically just like Eiffel Towering all day, every day. That's
Jesus.
like that's all it is.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's very boring. I think there's way more shapes you can make. Yeah.
Well, we definitely have to have like a full segment on that because
Yeah.
that's juicy.
Eugene's three-way episode.
Yes. Ben Noble and Jerry Barnes founded both Ben and Jerry's and Barnes and Noble.
Whoa, that sounds like
All I heard
a
was
theater tongue twister.
All I heard was Ben Barnes, and isn't that the hot guy from?
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon used to be hot before he was comedian.
Is this?
Before what?
I like that. This is you discovering this. Jimmy Fallon used to be
Well,
hot.
no, there are.
We remember.
There
I
are
remember.
there are Gen Zers, young people who only know Jimmy Fallon from his late night hosting gig, and then they'll see an SNL clip, and then it'll strike them that he was the
Pete Davidson.
He was the one that was the young hot guy on the show that they typically have for
And
a
like
certain
the
number of
faces he
seasons.
makes, it's like so sultry.
He's cool.
And I'm like, oh, but
Not anymore.
Okay.
He used to be really
Yeah.
cool. I will say, in some of the clips bring me joy from Jimmy Fallon's show. Some of the clips make me want to die. And that's, the Paris Hilton clip makes me want to die.
I kind of feel like he also wants to die inside a few times.
Yeah, I think
too.
he's-
Yeah.
I can sense that.
toughies.
He's not like one of the other late night hosts who I have heard very bad things about.
Ooh, which one? Corden?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, yeah. I guess you can't say because you might be on those shows at some point.
That's
true.
So
Let's
I'll
just say
say
that. Let's just say the rumor mill when you're closer to people who work in Hollywood.
yeah.
I will say this.
yeah.
Overall, most people tend to be just like regular, cool, nice
Yeah.
people, but there are a lot of people who are unfortunately substantiating
Horrible.
stereotypes about celebrities,
Okay.
about being divas and stuff. And it's like,
I have one that, actually,
it's tough. That's
I
a
wanna
different
share
episode.
it,
We
but
can't be.
also-
I don't want to be a gossip monger.
I'll say. Maybe I'll tell you after.
Oh, wait. Wink, wink.
My wink.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Last one. The
Okay.
juiciest one for last. Okay, so there are these two, and by the way, this is hearsay, and I've also made this up. Jack Martin.
Which one is
I
it?
just said I don't want to be a gossip
Is this hearsay
monger.
or I've made this up?
Well, it's okay. So this is what happened. Jack Martin and Sally Dar went on a podcast. They're two TikTokers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we
They-
like Jack Martin? I want to like him. He just has a look that I
Okay.
feel like
What
is,
is- okay.
he looks like a bad guy in a frat.
Oh,
Those of us who don't
100%.
know,
But I think he's really funny.
These TikTokers, are they just cute young people?
So here's the thing. Jack Martin is kind of like the Colbert Report of TikTok. He sort of pretends to be like really like white, grungy, like ugh. Like, but the thing is, like, his humor is so close to that fratty that it's like, how do you know that though? I'm not sure. I can't suss out like his real personality.
I want to like him.
So, and then Sally Dar is like, she's kind of like a knitter, sort of, but she also is comedy. But she sort of has like that soft, like mama, maternal energy
Okay,
for me.
she likes to knit.
Personally.
Got it.
I have no idea. I haven't met her. But so they went on this podcast and I was like, oh my gosh, as they were both guests, and I was like, they hooked up. I was like, 100%. There's no
a knitter
way.
and Jack Martin.
Yeah. So because so that feeling of like when you are for some reason interacting with someone you used to hook up with, and it's like there's like those moments of connection where it's like, oh, this is why we hooked up.
Yeah.
But then there's also like the awkwardness of like, oh, we're not anymore.
Whoa.
And that's what I was sensing.
Really?
So allegedly they sucked and fucked.
This is just your theory.
Well, I did check the comments and people were like,
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. Its chemistry is interesting. There's a lot of people who have great chemistry naturally.
yeah.
But there is a vibe. I don't know. I feel like it's hard. I think you sense it more in person.
Yeah.
There's also something called like on-camera chemistry.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
that's also one thing. It's
Oh,
hard to
yeah.
it's hard to suss out because
Right.
like the Try Guys all have great on-camera chemistry, but we hate each other.
They've all hooked up.
We've all hooked up. No,
Yeah.
that's a lie. But I think that's something that is worth further investigation.
Yeah, Rainie, I
Right?
want to see a
Miss
report on my
Rainie.
desk.
Well, I really just wanted to put that out there in case I'm right for people to be like, oh my gosh, Rainie knows.
For posterity's sake, just be
Yeah.
like, yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell when people have, what did you call it? Talked and fucked?
Sucked and fucked?
Sucked and fucked?
Sucked and fucking?
Jesus.
Oh, Rainie.
Sucked and
I
fucked.
did not know you said sucked and fucked.
Well,
wow,
I learned
I
from
like
Miles.
you.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Why haven't we chatted more before? That is hilarious.
Anyway, we're running out of time here, but we got to throw it to the final segment.
Yes, the final segment is, of course, the one, the only. Oh, I haven't been subject to one of these in a millennia. Advice that'll go for miles.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune it to your radio station. It's advice that'll go for miles.
Yep,
Everyone get ready, Miles Nation.
Rainie have his been good over the past several months. I've been.
Recently, the last one, spoilers for last week's episode, Journal, great.
Yeah, it was Journal.
Really good one.
Rainie reviews and Vice Versa.
Rainie reviews. We said they've been kind of up and down as usual.
They have been flow.
Yeah.
What's up, Miles Nation? How's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good, Miles.
Have you ever wanted to be hot?
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Sick of a heating pad, put it on, running class and I'm homebound. Get a heating pad
Yes.
Yeah, where do you put the heating pads?
on my back because my back is
You have a herniated
full of
disc.
herniated disc. So my main advice here is to get an electric blanket, aka heating pad. Put it on your back until it gets sweaty and keep it there.
Yes.
Now, I've also been alternating with ice.
Oh.
So I'll sort of do an ice and heat situation because again, I have a herniated disc that's preventing me from being mobile.
Do you use Salampas? Or is icy hot? Icy hot?
Excuse me?
Well, Salampas is the it's the Korean word. It's the it's the basically the bandages that
No.
give you the feeling.
Is that good to have?
Well, my grandmother and mother swear by it, but
Okay.
it's certainly it's kind of like in the vein of Tiger Balm. Like you use it to soothe
Tiger
aching
Balm
muscles.
I think I've been doing the heating pad and it's been comfortable, but I think I just needed I'm looking for any relief. I'm going to do acupuncture. I think.
Sounds like you need to go to the doctor.
I did, and they shot
Okay.
me full of steroids.
Yeah.
And they kind of didn't do that much. I mean, it was like relieving at first, but apparently it takes a really long time to heal a herniated disc. I was oversold how quickly it heals.
Does it affect taller people more commonly?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Ah.
But
Is it better than yesterday? Or are you tired of people? Or whenever people ask that, are you like, I know what the answer, but
I know what you want me to say is yes, and the answer is probably I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's like better than it was last week because last week it was like really really bad, but it is not that much better. It's maybe like 20% better, 10% better.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just like the blackout brain hurt, like where it's just like it hurts so bad your brain can't even
pretty
process
much,
anything.
yeah. Right now it's okay because I'm like sitting, but once I stand and I try to walk, then it's bad.
Oh, you need to be lying down and rest.
I know it's a mess.
Why are you here, Miles?
Well, that's a good point. But actually, rest is bad for it. You're not
Really?
You're not supposed with back stuff. Generally, you want to keep moving. You don't want to like rest too much because if you lay down, then your back will kind of seize up a little bit too much. If you lay down too much, you're supposed to kind of keep go for walks. You shouldn't sit for that long.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Yeah.
You know the highly popular quote unquote Brazilian butt injections?
BBL.
BBL.
Yeah.
Some people who get too much of it, they can't lie properly because the booty's so big.
Whoa.
The lower back doesn't touch the bed.
Booty so big, Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. So they're literally spine have mercy because people
Wow.
are developing spinal problems because
Wow.
they cannot get their spine to lie normally as it would.
Huh.
So a different. Maybe that's what you're going through.
Maybe I need a BBL.
Maybe you had a BBL.
Maybe I had a BBL in my sleep. Sarah got it for
You've been
me.
looking pretty juicy, Miles.
I did get a BBL. Yeah.
Yeah. that would be that would be the death knell of content.
Yeah. Well, and with that, with my BBL, Eugene, thank you so much for joining us this week.
my
Of course, it
God.
was my pleasure. So now I'm only coming back with Rainie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Boots on the ground.
Next time, hopefully, I'll tell you about the
Threesome.
professional
Secret-
announcements that I'm not allowed to say. Oh yes, and
And
threesomes.
threesomes.
We'll have a-
Threesomes and Eugene's
we'll
special
do a
projects.
dissertation about threesomes.
Yeah.